Hello there, this is the Shadow Ranger here with a request video. I got a question from BlackRock316. Says he sent me a report. It says here TNA is reportedly planning on cutting several talents soon from the roster. Officials have been evaluating what's working, what's not working, trying to determine which talents aren't fitting in. No word yet on when the cuts will be made, but some wrestlers have apparently been told to sit tight while the necessary cuts are made. He asked me, he says, so far Mick Foley and Tommy Dreamer are the only ones that left the company. Who else do you think should be released from TNA and why? I thought about doing a video on talking about who I thought would get cut, but he asked me who I think should be released and why. So, well, I got the TNA roster page opened up. I will start from the bottom and work my way up. Alright, let's see, we got Winter, Willie Urbina, Velvet Sky, see, Tom Jones gone. Taz, he annoys me, I like Don West more, and Don West is cheaper. Nobody, I would bet my soul that Taz costs more than Don West did, and he doesn't bring in any extra fans. Nobody is watching TNA because Taz is on commentary. You're not gonna lose a single fan. No one's gonna stop watching because Taz isn't on commentary anymore. I would get rid of him. So here, Tara, Sting. I'd probably transition Sting out of wrestling after a while. I actually think that once the Immortal storyline's over, he should be like the new authority figure, the director of authority. SoCal Val, she does some interviewing and stuff, so she has her place. Shannon Moore, Inking's good. Scott Steiner, much as I love Steiner, I like Steiner. I like watching Steiner wrestle, but I just wonder if how much more is that you can really do with Steiner. I question how much of a draw he still really is. I really like Steiner, and I like seeing him in TNA. I love Scott Steiner promos, but if he was gone, I'd still watch. Again, even though I like the guy, I'm like, okay, I don't think anybody's gonna stop watching TNA because Scott Steiner leaves. I enjoyed the show just fine when he was gone. I like the guy a lot, but I'm okay with him being gone. I'd probably cut him. He's probably expensive. I think he's probably more cost more than he's worth. All right, we got Sarita, San Marino, Samoa Joe, Rosita, Robbie E, Rob Van Dam. I just don't like Rob Van Dam. I don't like anything about him. I'm not that interested in him. I would cut Rob Van Dam. I know there's a lot of people who like him, but you know how much is that you can still do with Rob Van Dam that he's just gonna care about. I just feel like he doesn't have passion for it anymore. Rob Terry, I cut Rob Terry. Nobody really misses him. He's gotten better as in the ring, but I think he really needs to. He should still be training. I think he's not in good enough to be on TV. But he's a guy. I think if he got released, he'd get another shot in WWE. I think. Yeah, I've said this before. Rob Terry looks like he should be being the main event of WrestleMania, and I think that his lack of wrestling ability just offset his fantastic look. The guy looks like $1 million. He looks like a star. He looks like he should be the main, like a world champion. But he just doesn't have the wrestling ability to back up his look. Flair's more trouble than he's worth. Orlando Jordan, if they're just going to keep playing around, just doing the stupid, corny comedy bit, gay jokes with Orlando Jordan, release him for his own good. If they're not going to get serious and talk about the fact that he's bisexual, I've done my Orlando Jordan rant enough times. Go watch any other video that I've done about Orlando Jordan to hear my Orlando Jordan rant. My thing with Orlando Jordan is shit or get off the pot, TNA. If you're not going to do it, what needs to be done with Orlando Jordan, which is talk about the fact that he's bi and stop with all this dumb, goofy, fake ass Goldust shit humor. If you're not gonna take that plunge and pull the trigger on Orlando Jordan, release him. Maybe somebody else will do it. Test marker, she's hot, but she's not good enough to compete with the rest of the knockouts. The other knockouts are so far above her in wrestling ability that it really stands out. But if you need a sexy jobber, she's good. Here, Anderson, Tenay, Mickey James, Matt Morgan, Matt Hardy, Magnus, Madison Rain, Kurt Angle, Kazera, yeah. I think Jeff Jarrett's going to be off TV for a while after this Kurt Angle thing's over. I really strongly believe that after Slammiversary, we're not going to see Jeff Jarrett on TV for a while. Jeff Hardy, more trouble than he's worth. If Jeff can't get his shit together, he shouldn't be brought back. I've said this before, Jeff Hardy. If Jeff can get his shit together, bring him back and go for it. If he can't, cut him. He's not worth the trouble. If he's not going to take care, get his legal issue straightened out, if he's not going to get his drug problems he's not going to go to rehab and get himself cleaned up so he can be a productive member of the roster, then he needs to go. He's not worth any money you make from Jeff Hardy isn't worth the trouble he causes this company. Most fans have forgiven TNA for what happened at Victory Road. I have. A lot of other fans have forgiven them for that. We've let it. We had our anger. We let it go, and we're moving on. We're back on and just enjoying the show. They can't have that shit happen again. They can't. They have got to get that under control. Alright, James Storm, Hulk Hogan, Hernandez, Hector Guerrero. Murphy, I think, is going to go, because since he lost that Loser Leaves Immortal match to Rob Terry, we haven't seen nor heard from him. TNA seems to want to go somewhere with Gunner. They seem to like Gunner. I like Gunner, too. I think he has something good. I think he could really add to this show. And I think TNA sees that, too. They obviously like Gunner. They obviously want Gunner to stick around for a while. He seems to be a guy that they want to push and really do something with. Not so much Murphy. They don't seem to be behind Murphy the way they are behind Gunner. And I have a hard time getting behind Murphy too. I don't know if it's just his look. I don't know. Murphy just ain't doing it for me. Maybe they could give him another shot to repackage himself and do something different. Do gimmick, maybe a manager. I talked about my After Immortal video about Karen Jarrett, him being with Karen, but I don't see him being any more than a enhancement talent, really. He probably will go. E.Y., Eric Bischoff, Doug Williams, Don West, Desmond Wolf, Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels is going to have to make his decision if he's going to stick with TNA or go to Ring of Honor. Because once this Ring of Honor deal kicks off, I don't think they're going to allow... I don't think either company is going to be okay with him working for the other. I think that's why he hasn't won the TV title, the TNA TV title. I know a lot of people think it would be cool if he was TNA TV champion and Ring of Honor TV champion, but when this Sinclair thing kicks off, Ring of Honor is trying to go big time now. And I don't think they're going to be okay with Christopher Daniels also wrestling for TNA. And I don't think, and if Ring of Honor is trying to go big time, TNA is not going to be okay with Daniels working there. So I can see Daniels leaving if he decides that he would rather stick with ROH than TNA. I think he's going to have to sit and evaluate. But as we get closer to September, we're going to start hearing more about Christopher Daniels and what his decision is going to be. Because I think both companies like him and both companies would like to have him stay. But I think it's going to be a sense of, okay, Ring of Honor, what are you going to pay me and how are you going to use me? Then he's going to go to TNA and say, okay, TNA, what are you going to pay me? How are you going to use me? And Christopher Daniels has to sit down and really evaluate him for himself and decide where he's going to be. He may decide to go with Ring of Honor. I wouldn't be surprised if he chooses Ring of Honor over TNA. I think he's much more of a deal. He's a much bigger fish in a smaller pond there. Or they might just be willing to, or if Sinclair's going to put a lot of money into this, they might put enough money into Ring of Honor where Ring of Honor can afford to pay him a competitive salary to what TNA would pay him. But, Daniels might be going. If Ring of Honor makes Daniels a better offer, he might decide to go there instead. Let's see if we got Pope, Crimson, Cookie, Christy Hemme, Sabin, Bully Ray, Devon Since he split from Brother Ray, he's done much of nothing. They seem to him that they might do some with him in the Hope. I don't think anybody's gonna care. I can see Devon going. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm just eating lunch. Kendrick, Rue, Angelina, Anarchia. He did cause Chris Sabin to get injured. That's gonna look very bad upon him. I mean, he's only new in the company, but he's not so new that he can't be replaced. He can be replaced. I mean, I don't have a problem with the dude, and I want him to get more of a shot, but he's only a couple months in the company. He already caused Chris Sabin to get badly injured by not being in spot for a move. And now Chris Sabin's out the rest of the year. So, that doesn't make him look that good. They can find another Latino guy to team with Hernandez. Hernandez ain't going nowhere. Hernandez been in TNA a very long time. They really like him. I don't see him going anywhere. See here, Amazing Red, Alex Shelley, AJ Styles, Abyss. I'd get rid of Abyss just because I'm tired of him, or repackage him. So, going back through, just expecting who I'm expecting to get cut. Anarchia, Devon. If the Explosion thing doesn't work out, Desmond Wolf. If he can't wrestle and people don't get... I think him being the sort of host of Explosion works because it's a UK show, and so they have a UK guy hosting it. Daniels, because he might get a better offer from Ring of Honor within the next few months. Murphy, I just don't see them doing anything with Murphy. Anything you do with Murphy, you could just hire indie jobbers to do for less money. Jeff Hardy, because I just don't... I'm not confident that Jeff Hardy's going to get his shit together. And Jeff Hardy without his shit together is more trouble than he's worth. I expect Jeff Jarrett to be off TV soon. Orlando Jordan should get off the pot with OJ. Do it. Flair, more trouble than he's worth. Rob Terry, great look but not enough talent. Rob Van Dam, I just don't like him. Scott Steiner, more not worth the money. I think he's more trouble than he's worth. Same can be said for Taz. So yeah, there you go. So as far as who I would cut, that's pretty much it, and those are mostly who I expect to be cut. All right then. BlackRock 316. Thanks for the question. Send more if you have them. This is Shadow Ranger. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.